Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new chapter of the Heroic Gremory. Honestly, thanks a lot for the support that you guys liked about that of the chapter, with Jing Yuan joining after all. It's chapters like that that make me worried about releasing chapters for this series when trying to get Izuku to have those join Izuku's peerage. I want to see if I have that of a good execution or not. Hell, when it comes to recruiting people in fucking fan fiction, everybody always does it through that of fucking gamer fix, after all, by summoning them or by gotcha draws and all that other bullshit. And honestly, I'm not saying that I hate gamer fix. I still love them, but let's just say it does make something that normal gamers go through by recruiting characters in games kind of, feels like an accomplishment, and all my hard work paid off after all, like me playing the Heroic Chronicle series, which I might do something with in later, either on my main channel or on this channel. Any rate, all I'm saying is I want honest to good criticism on if I'm doing a good job on recruiting people to that of Izuku's peerage. That's all I'm asking. And if I'm not, then I'll probably have to redo all those scripts that I've already worked on all over again. Just letting you guys know this now. At any rate, with all that said, let's go through that of a quick recap. In the last part, Izuku getting used to that of Meredith and also Tortalia to being part of his peerage, with Tortalia's siblings actually getting saved and looked after by that of the Gremory family, which is a good thing. With Meredith also showing off that of her skills with that of her sacred gear and her magic abilities when she was still with the Golden Dawn. Last but not least, they were able to recruit that. Izuku was able to recruit his next member, who would end up becoming his mutated Rook. The Lightning General, the former guardian of the Chinese Pantheon's Jade Palace, Jing Yuan, as allowing him to join mainly through that of Izuku's strength, and also to keep a promise to make sure that the Chinese government in that of the human world does not collapse in the next 10 years. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 6, The Phantom Thieves. Back in the underworld, in that of the Gremory territory, in that of the massive mansion-like castle, the main home of the Gremory family, in that of a training courtyard, lies that of Jing Yuan fighting against both Namaya, Tortalia, and Kuroka, as Jing Yuan is still standing in one place, with then soon Tortalia doing that of hit and run shots using that of his short bow while infusing them with that of his water magic as well. However, without even breaking a sweat, Jing Yuan basically just swats the magic water-like arrow shots away, with then soon jumping up into the air trying to deal with that with more shots, with then just using a burst of his mana as the mystic lightning around as he disperses it, causing that of the shots to be deflected as well. Within, Tortalia couldn't help but narrow his eyes a little bit while still having that of his usual cocky smile. However, he was mainly acting as that of a distraction, which then leads to that of both Kuroka and Namaya to try and strike, with Kuroka running towards Jing Yuan as well, sending that of her Senjutsu fire towards the former Chinese general, as behind that of Kuroka, being that of Namaya, waiting for the perfect opportunity, with then Jing Yuan still standing in place as he soon slices right through that of the Senjutsu flames, using his mystic lightning once again as it crackles through that of his crescent blade. However, as soon as he does, it leaves him wide open for that of Namaya as she uses that of her special technique. Within, she says quietly, "Nintose," as she soon adjusts that of her sheath within drawing that of her long odachi, within as then a powerful two-key slash heading straight for that of Jing Yuan. Within, Jing Yuan couldn't help but smirk. Within soon, his lightning titan defends himself from that of the attack. Within, rushing towards that of Namaya, as the two begin to clash, as the both are basically in a deadlock, allowing that of Tortalia to finally get in on the action as well. Dispersing that of his short bow, he soon brings out that of his water daggers. Within, rushing towards that of Jing Yuan at the perfect moment, with even Kuroka getting close as well, coating that of her left fist in that of her two-key flames as well, about to strike down onto Jing Yuan's right side. Within, Jing Yuan seeing this, he couldn't help but smirk and think, clever. However, his lightning titan soon strikes back at both Tortalia and Kuroka, basically knocking them both back, as Kuroka backflips back alongside that of Tortalia, who slides back, with Kuroka looking somewhat annoyed and Tortalia actually looking somewhat excited, thinking that he may be able to go all out, but has to ask permission from Izuku, of course, with then seeing that of the massive lightning general continue to crackle, while having that of the lightning materialize crescent blade in the right hand. Within, however, as for Jing Yuan and Kuroka, the two continue to clash over and over again, as she switches stances, with having that of her large long blade out this time. However, even so, the two continue to go for blow, slash for slash, strike for strike, with the two getting back into that of another deadlock, as Namaya using that of her large blade to defend from a downward slash from Jing Yuan. Within, she still can help but smile, saying, "For somebody of your age and at this experience, you are quite something. Even though you're just a really newly reincarnated devil, you have acclimated to that of a devil so well. Even your mystic lightning hasn't dulled, even without a demonic power enhancing it as well." Within, Jing Yuan saying, and you're quite something yourself. I expect nothing less from that of Hononobahime, of course, of all people. With then she's saying, even that nickname still travels all the way to that of the Chinese pantheon as well, and even in this day and age too. Within, the two getting out of a deadlock, as Namaya sends one powerful slash towards Jing Yuan, with Jing Yuan defending from the slash, forcing him to slide back right towards that of his lightning titan. Within, spinning that of his crescent blade once again to get back into that of his fighting stance. Within, saying, your legend speaks all. One of the first of many reincarnated devils, a woman born from that of the union of a Japanese woman and a Greek minotaur, back during the Great War, of course. To imagine that somebody of your caliber would become a reincarnated devil after the Great War ended, and in the Devil's Civil War as well. Within, saying, well, I've had years and years of, training myself after all. If it wasn't for my Minotaur heritage, I probably would be my aging wouldn't be this slowed down after all. And add that to me being a reincarnated devil all those years ago, let's just say aging for me is kind of gone completely gone. As Namaya says this with that of a cheerful smile, with then, soon, Jing Yuan saying, I wouldn't expect nothing less. As both the knight and the mutated rook were about to battle, with even that of Kuroka being that of Izuku's mutated bishop, and Tortalia being Izuku's second knight, prepared to spar once again against the former lightning general. Within, Izuku couldn't help but smirk on the side as their spar continues on, as lightning, blue flames, water slashes, and also that of steel being being clingy in the air continues to go on, with Izuku on the side, and same thing also goes for Meredith as well, as she's basically reading a book, catching up on some spells that the Gremory family have in their library. You know, I didn't expect so much magic held up in the Gremory library, saying, this is nothing. You should see that at the Citri library. It's way larger. And spells and access of spells that they have there is way much more bigger. Hopefully, if we ever had to meet with that of Sona and that of her family as well, I'll probably ask if it's okay for you to go in there and read, and so you can, well, see how many spells you can unlock in there. But then saying, thank you, my Lord Izuku. This is awesome. As the current book that she's reading is on that of elemental spells, actually. Instead of learning new spells, it has better ways to control them thanks to that of the Gremory family's power of manifest. Given that the book was written by that of Izuku's grandmother, the former head of the Gremory family at the time, who wanted to focus on the power of manifest if it's able to manipulate, control, and basically even using that of other forms of elemental magic to counter that of holy magic, and even that of god magic being the divine magic. And the book basically shows that there is, such as the very aspect that Izuku used when fighting against Jing Yuan, to code basically his entire body and layers of other forms of magic, where Izuku calls this his full cowl. This was originally known as the Elemental Armor Seal. Only thanks to Izuku was able to fully perfect it, after all. After years and years of studying and training his clan trait. With then soon, as the match finally was about to come to a final conclusion, with Namaya using that of her special technique, Suketsudo, as she soon brings out that of a large, multi-bladed sword that was in that of a pocket dimension that she calls Nightbringer. Kuroka pushing her senjutsu to a whole new level, to the point that that of her senjutsu blue flames began to coat her entire body, almost with the flames even turning into that of 2 extra cattails, making her look like she has having that of 4, with Tortalia putting on that of his former Devil Hunter mask of Child, with a mix of water magic and lightning magic begins to crackle around his body. With even Jing Yuan couldn't help but also began to take this seriously, as that of his Lightning Titan begins to grow even bigger and bigger, to the same size that he used on that of Izuku. Within Izuku realizing, I think this is a little bit too much right now. Not trying to have the entire, training field completely destroyed right now. Within clapping his hands loudly, within saying, alright guys, that's enough for sparring. With then soon hearing the clap from their king, within all of them began to stop. With even Child removing that of his red mask from his face, within saying, aw, come on, man. Master, I thought for sure that we were able to go all out. Within looking at Tortalia, as he couldn't help but have that of a deadpan look, before saying, right, you didn't give me full permission to use my full power. So of course, I guess not. Within soon, the lightning titan disappears, with then even that of Jing Yuan also dematerializing that of his crescent blade. Even Kuroka basically couldn't help but huff, saying, man, he's so strong. He took us all on without even breaking a sweat. With then soon Namai saying, well, I was holding back, as she puts that of her other blade, Nightbringer, back into its pocket dimension, and resheathing her Odachi once more as well, using magic to clean up her clothes, with even Kuroka doing the same. As then Tortalia saying, oh man, I still need to learn how to do that. With then Jing Yuan couldn't help but smirk, saying, it's always best to do things by hand. Use magic too much and it makes things too lazy, after all. With Tertalia looking at the man that's at least out of 10 years older than him, saying, you know, for somebody who's 26, you have that wise mentor mentality. With Jin Yuan basically smirking, not taking it as an insult, before saying, I was a general for almost for throughout my late teens all the way to that of my early 20s. I've had a lot of my subordinates, both young and old alike, ask me for that of advice as a general, in combat and in general in life as well. Even though I'm also still new to life as too. Let's just say that I learned with that of my own subordinates, and now that I serve that of Lord Izuku, I'll continue to learn in that of devil's politics and society. I do know that it's also considered a viper's den, with then soon Namaya basically walking alongside that of Jin Yuan and Tertalia saying, that's only half of it. When it comes to double noble society, it's quite something else. There are some people say that they have trust and loyalty for alliances, old respects, and that of favors for many houses. However, some of those favors, alliances, and respect is always two-faced and not even what they truly mean for themselves. They're willing to basically sell away even their own family if it means getting more high status and wealth within their family name. Within soon, Izuku saying, hate to admit it, but it's the truth. Because of this, the Phoenix family basically married off their third son to that of my sister, who was the current heir to the Gremory family. Rias will still be the head of the Gremory family. It's just that she'll have that of a lecherous, lazy, and basically good-for-nothing devil as that of her husband, who wouldn't even care about trying to make things better for that of the Gremory family or for her, but only for his own self-interest and wants. And that's the reason I can't stand Riser. He thinks of himself as the best and the strongest of all, and yet he doesn't do anything to prove it. He relies so much on his clan trait to grow stronger. The worst part is, Rias is basically the same thing. The only difference is that she cares about those around her. However, she cares too much to the point that she takes everything at face value without even seeing things for what they truly are. Hearing the words from their master, within Meredith, no longer reading, walking alongside that of Izuku, somewhat worried for him, then saying, it almost sounds like you would be a better, heir to the Gremory than your twin sister. Sorry if it seems like I'm speaking out of line, Master Izuku. I didn't mean... Within, Izuku couldn't help but laugh, saying, it's fine, Meredith. You're free to speak your mind. Personally, I could care less about being the heir or not. Originally, I did hate the fact that I wasn't. That I've worked so hard and trained so hard to basically prove that I'm not a burden or I'm not a laughingstock. That even before I even learned that I had that of the Gremory family's power of manifest, that I wanted to train and prove that I'm something more, that I would be worthy of being the heir. But as I continue to work and I continue to train, while Rias basically slack off or barely even trained at all, I realized if Rias is able to become the heir to the Gremory family just because of the Beale's Pallier destruction and her large demonic reserves alongside my own, then I don't even want to be the heir. If it means that I had to give up what it means to be me. If anything, I want to earn being the strongest. I want to show that I can become the strongest, even without the Beale's power of destruction, but with the Gremory's power of manifest alone. And when everything else that everybody else has taught me and trained from that of Sensei Ajuka to Lord Odin, and to even that of my cousin Sarorg as well. I want to show that everything that they taught to me, everything that they've shown me, and everything that they've given trust into me will not be for nothing. Within hearing this, Totalia saying, wise words, young master, wise words. Within, Namai saying, I couldn't agree more. I believe Van made the right decision, trading me to you after all. Within, Izuku saying, I thought it was because that you basically didn't want to leave Within, she basically covering that of Izuku's mouth with that of her left hand, with even though she's basically shorter than Izuku, as she's basically blushing, within saying, "Don't say that, Izuku." Within saying, right, sorry. Anyways, I should introduce you to the others, and introduce you to mother and father. Get to know them, Jing Yuan. Saying, "If that's what you wish, master, I will oblige." Within, soon, a maid walking up to that of Izuku, however, this maid is a lot more different from the other Gremory maids. The reason being, this maid is wearing a lot more looser, and provocative maid clothing, because she is one of many of his father's harem girls, as her body is quite curvaceous and also quite sex, and has a huge amount of sex appeal, as she having that of curly pink hair going all the way down to that of her neck, as she soon stands in place, within bowing to that of Izuku, saying, "Lord Izuku, there's a visitor here wishing to see you, but I wish to ask your permission to let them in, though." Within, Izuku saying, "A visitor? Who could it be?" Within saying, "She says that she's an info broker from the organization. She's a Dullahan, if I recall, due to her blue skin and darkened black eyes." Within saying, "A Dullahan info broker? Oh, it's Curious." Within soon hearing that name, Kuroka couldn't help but pout a bit just hearing that info broker's code name. But then saying, please, let her in. If she's come to me in person, then it has to be really important." With then saying, of course. I'll ask that of Lord Zeoticus to lay down that of the wards, allowing her to entrance into one of the meeting rooms. "Which meeting room would you want?" Within Izuku putting his index finger and his thumb on that of his chin before thinking, probably meeting room B. It's kind of a lot more easier there, and knowing father won't have any guests, so it's out of the way. Within saying, understood. With that, she soon teleports away to that of Zeoticus' study and that of his office as well. With then soon, Tertalia saying, "Info broker, huh? Is this the same broker that you have been getting in contact with to recruit us, Lord Izuku?" Within, Izuku can help but to scratch the back of his brunette hair before laughing, saying, "Yeah, actually." She goes by the name Curious. As for her real name, I have never really asked, mainly because the organization where she's from makes sure to have their info brokers to have that of code names to keep them safe, or so they don't use their names and identities from clients that either get pissed over their information being spotty or their information backfiring on them. Simple as that. With then soon Kuroka saying, "And plus that woman is unbearable. She always tries to dig deep into just when she meets you. As soon as she sees you, all she could see is basically a layer." With Kuroka basically clenching onto that of her arms, almost feeling somewhat an uncomfortable memory. With Meredith seeing that of the black Nekushao basically feeling, weirded out, as she always saw Kuroka as basically this pillar of strength and also provocative playfulness, especially towards her master, which for some reason always kind of annoyed her to the point that she couldn't help but huff from time to time when she basically clings on to Izuku. Right now, she just feels kind of sorry for her. Within, soon, Jing Yuan saying, "An information broker that sees through layers. I'm guessing she's one of those brokers that are more interested in the people that she's scanning. And when she sees you, she can't help but want to look deeper and deeper into a person's past and what they've been through. I've dealt with my fair share of people like that. Within Namaya saying, same here, especially during that of the Great War and the Devil's Civil War as well. I don't think she means any disrespect, but she just as her namesake, she just gets too curious about those around her. I even remember when she actually dove right into that of Lord Izuku's past. Within, soon, Jing Yuan and even Tortalia heard this alongside that of Meredith, looking into that of Izuku, as even though he didn't have that of a bad childhood, it still wasn't a good one, to be honest, especially during his earlier years. Within, heading closer and closer to the meeting room, and that within soon, Izuku saying, could you guys wait out here? I want to try and see what she needs to speak to me about. Within soon, Kuroko saying, absolutely not, Master Izuku. Within soon, Namaya saying, I had to agree with that of Kuroko. Please, allow us to be with you in this meeting, saying, as much as I appreciate it, I think it's best if I take care of this myself. I'm asked, please, allow me to do this. Within, soon, Izuku basically pleading to both girls, to that of his second mother figure, and to the one to another one of the girls that generally love him for him. With then Namaya sighing before saying, proceed, do what you need to do. Lady Namaya, within saying, Izuku is our king. We have to follow his orders. If he thinks he can handle this, then allow him. Within soon hearing this, Kuroko couldn't help but feel a little bit worried. Hell, even Meredith, looking at Kuroko's action, couldn't help but feel worried as well for their master as well. The person that basically gave her a home, a new home. Within soon, Tortalia saying, Master, if it's all the same to you, if anything gets crazy, don't be too surprised if we bust through the door. Within soon, Izuku couldn't help but look at Tortalia. Within, Jing Yuan speaking, saying, same goes for me as well, Master. I would prefer it if you were still in the right state of mind to keep your promise to me, after all. Within, Izuku saying, fine, you all made your points. But, like I said, I still need to do this myself. As she says these words and enters into the room, seeing that of a quite beautiful and quite, seductive blue-skinned woman with purple grayish hair that goes all the way down to that of her shoulders, a navy blue dress that basically that's sleeveless, but basically covers her whole body, but also, leaves quite a bit of her curves, at least viewable, while also wearing that of a red jacket with that of her long legs on display. And what also stands out the most is that of a black choker that basically radiates magic, as this being Chitose, or Curious, as she prefers. With then soon, Izuku saying, Curious, it's good to see you again, saying, likewise, my lord, it's so good to meet one of my favorite info customers after all. I came with you for an important info about one of your peerage members that you have been searching for a while now. Within saying, which one? The one being that being the gentlemanly thief. Within saying, gentle criminal? Is he on the move? Did he move from Japan? Saying, no, he's still there. Well, but I did hear rumors of him going on that of a thieving spree, actually. He's going to be hitting one place that I feel like no mortal should basically go to, especially in the land of Japan. With then soon hearing this, Izuku wondering, where is he going? Is she saying, before then, I need my payment. This info doesn't come cheap after all. As for the other, I'll give you one info on the house if you can pay me, since you're one of my favorite customers after all. As she gives that of a seductive and somewhat malicious smile after all, as it makes Izuku feel uncomfortable, both in that of how devious she is and also on how seductive she can be as well. Given that Izuku still can't handle being around that of women, who may or may not have feelings for him or just want to manipulate him for his own, for their own status sake, after all. Within soon, Izuku creating that of his own special spell circle, placing that of a small case filled with that of money, within saying, "Here, these are basically my own personal funds. After all, this isn't coming from the Gremories. This is mainly from me and me alone." Saying, "Ooh, if you're going into your own funds for this, personally, actually, besides giving you the extra one, if you give me the amount that I want, I'll give you a second one because how much you always surprise me." As she winks to that of Izuku, making him blush again, before then saying, "First, the information that you want about that of Gentle Criminal and his accomplice, La Brava. They plan on going to here. You may want to watch this." As she also creates that of a spell circle as well, and that in her hands being that of a small laptop. As she soon types in something before clicking that of the enter button. As a video begins to load, within sliding it and showing it to Izuku, as on the video showing that of a man that looks like at least in his 40s, or early 50s, but technically is actually in his mid-30s, wearing that of a gentlemanly suit that almost looks like that of a butler suit as well, with that of a black cape, with a black cloak cape, and in his hands having that of fine china, with that of a teapot and teacup as well, in his hand, in his right hand a teapot, in his left hand a teacup, within saying, "Hello there, my audience. I am Gentle Criminal, the more supernatural thief extraordinaire, and tonight I am giving you information on my next heist. I am currently into that of my former homeland of Japan. Here, I plan on going to take one of the greatest treasures known to that of Japanese history, but I won't give you on which of those treasures are. There are quite many out of my former homeland, after all. So many that you can't even think of which one I'm thinking of, to be honest. All you need to know that I and La Brava plan on stealing this treasure. If you can guess what it is, then I hope that you are prepared. But as you know, a gentleman thief never reveals too much of his secrets. I hope that you and the supernatural and those who think that they can take me down are prepared for what's to come. Now then, I'll be off. I'll see you in the next few hours." With then soon, she soon stops the video before closing the laptop, before saying, "He says he's in Japan. Normally, normal people and even those from other pantheons don't even care about that. Especially since his video is connected to both the DevilNet and other supernatural networks all across the world. Hell, it's even connected to that of normal people internet as well, on that of regular YouTube." Within Izuku's wise whining saying, "He's in Japan." Within Kira saying, "Yes, he's in my father's homeland as well. I've realized that. And if I'm on my guess, the thing he plans on stealing is not in some dusty museum or possibly some sacred shrine by that of the 5 principal clans. If I'm guessing by his track record, he plans on going to Tagamagahara." Within suit Izuku saying, the land of the heavens for the Shinto gods." Oh god, he is an idiot! The Shinto are known, maybe some Shinto gods are benevolent, however some are basically quite cruel and twisted. He and his partner are going to get themselves killed for their transgressions. Sure, they may be let off a little bit lighter since they're Japanese, but even so, within curious, basically no longer crossing her legs, before then soon leaning forward saying, "What will you do, Lord Izuku?" Within saying, "I need to stop them." As then soon creating that of another spell circle, creating as it being that of the globe from before, seeing that of 2 markers, one still in that of India while the other still in Japan, as he knows now that Gentle Criminal and his partner are still in Japan. Within zooming in Japan, within realizing he's right close to Tokyo, and nearing that of the landscape to that of Mount Fuji. With then hearing this, she's saying, so he's really getting closer and closer to that of the gateway needed to go to Takamagahara. If I recall, the gateway to there is through that of a dragon's vein after all. Hopefully he'll be able to survive that if he could. Within saying, he's been able to go to other parallel dimensions tied to that of other pantheons. I don't know how, but he is. It's the reason on why he's been able to steal things and able to escape from them alive. With even so, if he does this, he's going to get himself killed. The Shinto may be neutral, but they're still considered one of the top 5 strongest pantheons in the world after all. Within, she's saying, my thoughts exactly. Well then, you have this video aired at least a good 3 hours ago. And the timestamp saying that he plans on doing this little heist of his probably around that of 8 o'clock in the evening after all. You better get going. Within saying thank you. But before I do that, let me give you that of the two other informations I'm giving you for free, because you're one of my all-time favorite customers, Lord Izuku. Within, she says this seductively, which makes Izuku a little bit blushing. Within saying, okay then, shoot, as he's on guard about this information, saying, one of your other it's about that of the, ingredients that you want, about the little sleeping devil disease that you've been trying to cure. Turns out, if you want that ingredient, you're going to need to talk to at least a god of sleep or a god of the night. Within saying, seriously? Saying, and that's all you need to do. Any god around that domain can create the ingredient that you need to help you for your little project after all. Hopefully, I'll be able to at least get some. Hopefully one god is willing to help me out with that. Saying, hopefully. But I wouldn't keep your hopes up though, kiddo. So you know how gods are, quite prideful. And I call it mere luck that you were even able to make an alliance between that of the Norse and the Devil faction after all. Within, Izuku can help but say, even my luck can always, run out. It's run out before many times as well. But there's also the other information that I want to give you as well. This one is also on the house. Because again, you're on my all-time favorite. It's information that not even your own, devils, that not even many of the devil nobility know about. Possibly only that of a few possibly only your little Satan's leaders know about this. Not even the old Satans know about this person too. Within, think, who are they? What are you? I figure this person would be perfect for your little peerage and a perfect test subject for your little, save the devil race project from the sleeping disease. Within, Izuku saying, please, tell me. Within, she's saying, here it is. It's a Leviathan, actually. An actual blood-descended Leviathan that isn't part of the old Satan faction, who also has the devil sleeping disease. And they're currently in that of Leviathan territory, run by that of the Citri, in secret. Within, hearing that, Izuku's eyes widening in pure and utter shock, saying, you're joking. Saying, nope, not joking at all. It took me an old colleague of mine that was working with that of the old Satan faction, was working with Kateria Leviathan to get information on that of Satan Seraphal. Turns out the information tied to that of a half-blooded devil with that of Leviathan blood. Even heard rumors she also has that of a sacred gear as well. My broker friend was about to tell Kateria, but forward thinking she would probably kill the girl, finding out the truth that she's still alive after all. About to inform his employer to be honest. But then realizing that she could go to that this could be a spark of war, and sometimes war is good business, but it also is bad for business as well. He also has a good thing going on. So all he did was basically lie about the true information and decided to give the information to somebody else that'd be useful, that would make better use of it. That being moi, and I'll be able to give it to you. So, how does that sound, Lord Izuku? Did I do great? Within, she saying that, with that, almost like that, of a girl asking for that of praise from somebody that she admires. But then, Izuku couldn't help but smile, saying, Chitose? Within, she's saying, wait, you're calling me by my first? You are awesome. There is no information broker that can compare to you. Within, hearing that, you could actually see that of a purple tint on that of her blue skin, with then saying, just for that, I'll give you an extra payment for this information. This is perfect. I've been looking. I didn't want to just, wanna get test on that of my aunt. But now that I know somebody else that has the disease and has possibly had it longer, I can actually be able to do more proper test, do real and proper test on it, and truly able to find a cure. Add that with one of the ingredients I was missing, that being from a god that's tied to that of sleep or the night, is totally perfect for me. You really are amazing. Within, after saying his piece, saying, after giving her that of another, envelope of cash, within saying, see you around. After that, he soon leaves that of the room. Within, she's saying, he is so great, both cute, a genius, and also humble as well. You know, even as a devil, he is basically the perfect man for me. But I'll think I'll wait until he's at least 17 or 18. Still too young for my liking. Well, my business is done. Within, getting that for cash and payment, as she soon teleports out of the Gremory estate. Within, Izuku begins to explain the situation about one of the candidates that he plans on recruiting. Within, soon, Tertalia couldn't help but begin to laugh out loud in that of Izuku's room. With then everybody looking at that of the redhead. Within, soon, Tertalia couldn't help but basically try and calm down, saying, sorry, but you want to recruit Gento Criminal? The literal joke of the supernatural of a thief? Of that of a phantom thief? I mean, come on. I mean, sure, he's stolen a few things here and there, but they're mostly things that are not even important to that of the pantheons that he stole from. Some are basically even lost their power, to be honest. Within, soon Namaya can help but shake her head and scold that of Tertalia, saying, Tertalia, that's not the point. The point is that he's able to go into that of certain pantheons' domains and nobody knows how and why. It's because of this he's been on that of multiple supernatural wanted lists. And if he goes into Tagamagahara, one of the big five's heavens, who knows, he's going to be one of the most true, that he and his accomplice will be truly the biggest wanted criminals in all of the supernatural. All the same, we need to stop them beforehand. When I last saw them, they were basically on the outskirts of Tokyo heading to Mount Fuji, possibly to one of the dragon veins to head to Tagamagahara. We need to stop them beforehand and before they basically get caught. It's most likely, as much as the Shinto doesn't want to get involved in anything supernatural related, if they find out that a human is basically in one of their heavens, who knows what's going to happen? Within, soon, Jing Yuan saying, as much as I am grateful for you wanting to save that of a man and his accomplice as well, showing so much that you have that of a noble heart, master. But even so, why go so far? Within, soon, Izuku looking down, before looking back at Gentle Criminal's look, saying his eyes. Within, everybody couldn't help but be confused at Izuku, saying, I saw his videos at least a few times, mainly out of boredom when I was just, trying to relax. And every time when I saw his videos, in his eyes, I could see a person that's just sad, lost, just wanting a purpose. Even though he does all these crazy and stupid stunts that basically get him on that of the Supernatural's most wanted and basically shit list, as well as vulgar as it sounds, with then soon shaking his head saying, I can tell he's a person that just wants a purpose in his life, a meaning to live, and that's the very reason why I want to help him. If anything, I want to give him that purpose. Is that so wrong? With then soon hearing that, Kuroka saying, you're just so kind. You're the best person that a girl like me could have for a master. As Kuroka basically clings on to that of Izuku, with even that of Meredith couldn't help but get annoyed, before then saying, you know what? True. You are, if anything, I think you should save him. With then trying to pry Kuroka off of that of Izuku, before then saying, you should focus on getting him and that La Brava out. So better get going now. With then soon saying, best chance you can get, Tech, bring me along. Alongside that of Tortalia too. And Kuroka, wanting to understand why. Within soon, Meredith speaking up saying, isn't it obvious? I'm a pretty skilled magician, so anything that they could do, I could use my spells to basically deflect or bounce right back at them. Not only that, if you bring Tortalia, it would also give him. He's pretty skilled in that of close range combat and long range too, given his bow. With Kuroka's Senjutsu, they'll be able to sense them a long way beforehand after all. And so, it only makes sense. With then, soon, Izuku saying, what about Namaya and Jing Yuan? With then, Jing Yuan saying, I'm still new to that of in this whole devil thing. I think it's best that you send those who are more capable than me. But then Namaya saying, and I may be one of your oldest peerage members, Izuku, but I also want the others to get some experience as well. And seeing that of Meredith's orders and ideas, they're pretty sound. Possibly it'd be better if you can basically talk them out of this instead of by force. With then hearing this, Izuku saying, thank you, guys. You better get going. As then, Spell Circle soon appears under that of Izuku, as he's now in that of his battle attire. With then soon Kuroka saying, ooh, this is going to be great. As then soon a Gremory spell circle goes under that of Kuroka, as she also changes from that of her black loose kimono to that of something more, something more skin tight actually, as it being that of a black and white card theme uniform with that of frills on that of her arms and on that of her back as well, as this also being that of her battle attire. With then soon Izuku saying, so you're actually wearing that? I mean, I thought it was a joke that you would get something like this, saying, hey, every hero needs a sidekick, and why not a sexy one after all? As Kuroka basically poses in the outfit in that of her, so-called battle attire, with Izuku couldn't help but blush, turning away, before then using magic to dye his hair green. Within, Tortalia not even phased, as then putting that of his red mask on, within saying, I think we should get going now. Within, Meredith thinking, man, I think I should start. When am I going to get a battle uniform? Within, Izuku saying, just give me at least another year or so. I should be able to make one for all of you. With Meredith couldn't help but pout before sighing, saying, okay. But we should get going now. But then, after saying that, creating that of a spell circle underneath all of them as they head straight for Japan. Outside of in the forest to that of Mount Fuji lies that of Gentle Criminal and his partner in crime, and his video editor, Labrava, or her real name, Manami Aba, as she's saying, "Gentle, are we almost there yet? Tracking through the forest through that of our Phantom Thief attire is so, well, hassle after all." Within, Gentle saying, "Never fear, Labrava, we're almost there to that of the Dragon Vein. Once we get there, I should be able to open up the gateway to that of Takamagahara without breaking a sweat, especially with this." In his hands, holding that of somewhat of a square loose item, with that of a round object in the back, with that of a circular ball in that of the round holding, as it has that of black-like patterns that begins to glow red a few times. Within soon saying, if it wasn't for that key, we wouldn't be able to get through that of those dimensions after all. Within, Gentle saying, "Haha, of course, Labrava. This will be easy. Once we go into that of Takamagahara, we'll be airing into that of stealing one of the Magatamas of the Storm God Susanoo." With then saying, "Still think that's crazy that we're going to be stealing one of the Magatamas of Susanoo. But if we pull this off, we'll be considered true Phantom Thieves. Everybody will basically be able to take you seriously, Gentle." With then Gentle saying, "Of course." Before then, reaching out at the base of Mount Fuji saying, "We're almost there." However, as soon as they arrive, somebody was waiting saying, "Gentle criminal, Labrava, stop!" With then soon hearing that voice, as Labrava gets somewhat scared, as Gentle basically covers Labrava, putting her behind her. With then soon saying, "Show yourself. Have you come to stop me? I see that the Shinto has taken me seriously." With then soon Tortalia speaking up in the distance saying, "No, not really. They haven't shown up once at all, showing that you are still somewhat of a joke, Gentle." Within soon hearing that, the man known as Gentle Criminal couldn't help but feel like his pride just been hit. Within, Labrava speaking up saying, "Hey, don't talk bad about my Gentle like that. Somebody who can't even show himself doesn't even deserve to speak at all." With then soon Tortalia couldn't help but feel a twitch on that of his eyebrow. Within, Izuku saying, "Tortalia, stop." With Tortalia listening to that of his king. Within, Izuku finally showing himself, as he having that of both his metal rebreather, his cowl on as well. Within, keeping his identity a secret. Within, saying, "Who? I can sense you. You're part of the supernatural as well." Saying, "Yes, I am a devil actually." Within, hearing that, both Labrava and Gentle began to go more on edge, saying, "A devil, you say? So, even the devils have now come after me once again." Within, Izuku saying, "Wait, again?" Then, shaking his head saying, "Ask later," saying, "Listen, Gentle, I understand that you have basically taken on this task of wanting to go into that Takamagahara and steal something from them, but don't do this. There's a reason on why the Shinto, even while neutral, are still feared to this day. If you go into Takamagahara without their permission and basically steal from them, you'll basically be banished from Japan forever. And I know that you live here, and I know that you're Japanese." Within, soon hearing that, Gentle saying, "So you've even come to that conclusion." With then soon Kuroka coming out, wearing that of her battle attire as well, with that of her cattails basically swaying, saying, "Not really. I mean, it's pretty obvious with your Japanese features, with that of the black makeup covering your eyes." With then soon hearing that, Gentle saying, "Ah, I see. Well then, my lady." Within soon pulling out that of a metal baton before it extends into that of a metal cane. Within soon saying, "Then I'll need to show you that I am serious." Within soon Izuku saying, "Please, we don't need to fight. Just we can talk this out." With then saying, "Sorry, but that's not going to happen." As then soon he bring as then he grabs onto that of Labrava, puts her on that of his back, before then jumps up into the air. As soon as he jumps up into the air, it almost seems like something he uses as a platform. But then Izuku seeing this saying, "What? But that's impossible. I don't sense any magic. He didn't use a spell circle." But then can he use, as then he basically bounces himself towards that of Izuku and Kuroka. But then Kuroka using that of her Senjutsu flames and was about to stop that of Gentle Criminal as soon as she throws that of the blue fireball. But then soon he brings down his left hand. Well, then the fireball basically is consumed, almost looking like that of a plastic bubble. With then saying, what is, as the fireball sent straight back at that of Kuroka. But then Izuku, using that of his full cowling magic, grabbing onto that of Kuroka and jumping up into the air. With then Sued saying, "Damn it, that must be his sacred gear, because I can't feel any magic from him." With then seeing what's happening, Tortalia saying, "Well, I'll be getting involved in this, looks like," as materializing his bow and then jumping out of the wood, jumping out closer and closer to that of Gentle Criminal Labrava, saying, "Hey there, Gentle. Sorry, but it looks like it's time. It looks like your little thieving spree stops here." As he soon shoots out of multiple water shots towards Gentle and Labrava. With then Labrava saying, "Gentle, on the right," saying, "I see it." With then creating that of a circular motion in the air, as then the water arrows get consumed as well before bouncing back towards that of Tortalia once again. But then seeing his arrows coming back at him, he soon dematerializing his bow and creating his water daggers once again, begins to slice away the water shots. But then saying, "So that has to be a sacred gear. Even I couldn't even see it." With then Meredith also in the still on that of the ground, seeing what's going on, saying, "I can sense magic coming off of that of Gentle Criminal. It's not a lot, but I can still feel it. It has to be a sacred gear, just like my Alpheka Tyrant, but possibly a common variety sacred gear. I'm not really too fond of sacred gears, but if I'm seeing this right." With then soon Izuku basically jumping up into the air as he tries to attack that of Gentle Criminal, saying, "Please, I don't want to fight. I just want to talk." With then saying, "You've had your chance, devil, but I do not negotiate with devils as well." But then soon as he swipes his hand back, as Izuku dodges it. However, as soon as he tries to get closer to that of Gentle Criminal, he's soon blocked by that of something made out of rubber, saying, a barrier made out of rubber?" With then realizing, this has to be a secret gear. With then soon Kuroka sending more and more Senjutsu fireballs, saying, "Will you stop? Seriously, Izuku is coming out of his way to trying to help you idiots. The least you could do is listen to him." As jumping farther and farther into the woods, saying, within Labrava speaking up, saying, "Like we'll listen to devils. All you do is basically manipulate and lie, and all you do is basically hurt those around you. Like hell we'll listen to you guys." Within hearing this, Kuroka can't help but get annoyed, even though Labrava's somewhat speaking facts. With then soon Tortalia can help but say, "If this keeps up, we're basically going to continue. We're basically on that of a freaking wild goose chase." As he soon sends more and more water shots. However, all those water shots continue being sent right back at Tortalia while jumping in that of the woods. While Izuku was basically using his devil wings to fly. Within thinking, "Come on, Izuku, think. With then soon thinking, "Wait, the sacred gear. If I recall, there is a common variety sacred gear that almost anybody can have. It allows them to create that of barriers, allows them to shield themselves from any attack. However, even though it's I think if I recall, it's known as Prime Regalia. That's what it's called. With then saying that has to be a secret gear, Prime Regalia. But seeing that it's not just defending them, but also rebounding attacks right back at us. It has to be a subspecies sacred gear. As Merida hears her king finally come to this realization, but then she also comes to the same realization as well, saying that makes a lot of sense. A sacred gear that basically creates magic barriers, but since it's now a subspecies, and creating that of a barrier that basically symbolized to rubber, sending that, causing him to repelling him forward, using that of rubber surfaces, and using that of rubber barriers to deflect attacks right back at that of opponents. I gotta say, this gentle criminal may be that of an idiot to try and make an enemy out of the supernatural by being a thief, stealing from them, but I gotta say, he has one. He's lucky to get a subspecies sacred gear like that. With then saying, however, even if it's a subspecies, within she creates that of her wooden sword from that of Elfeka Tyrant, as the holy energy begins to radiate from that of the sword. Within, she begins to channel that of her demonic magic, before creating that of a black flame from that of holy demonic flames. Within saying, I never understood on how I'm able to even do this, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Within soon sending that of the demonic holy flame towards gentle criminal. Within soon Labrava saying, gentle black fireball. Within saying, I see it, as then creating that of another barrier. However, the barrier begins to crack. The rubber barrier begins to crack. Within saying, how is this possible? Within soon Meredith couldn't help but also fly up using that of her devil wings, even though she's not completely used to them just yet, as she's moving pretty slowly. Within saying, isn't it obvious? You're mainly using that of the subspecies ability of your sacred gear, but as for the magic itself, it's still pretty weak. You can basically reflect any kind of physical force of attacks right back at that of your opponents. But when it comes to pure magic alone, on the other hand, within soon, the barrier fully cracks, hitting that of Gentle Criminal and Labrava, knocking them back to the ground, saying it's completely utter amateurish. As the two were getting closer and closer to the ground, within, Gentle makes sure to grab onto that of Labrava's hand before creating that of another soft barrier. Within, the two begin to bounce as rolling onto the ground, basically catching their fall. Within, Gentle saying, are you okay? Labrava saying, I'm fine, Gentle. You saved us. Saying, right, but those devils, I didn't know that they had that of a strong magician on their side. Within saying, Gentle, we had to get going. Saying, no, not yet. I still have to achieve my dream. I promised my fans and those on that of the network that I would go to Takamagahara and steal. That is what I promised. Within, Labrava saying, but Gentle, saying, Labrava, Monami, do you still believe in me? Saying, of course, Gentle. I'll always believe in you, no matter what. Saying, then believe in me now. I will not stop until I am remembered. Until I'm able to achieve my purpose. With then soon rushing towards that of Izuku's peerage. But then soon Izuku saying, so he's weak, so his barriers can't handle full-on magic attacks. That's good to know. I kind of figured that as well, but I wanted to make sure that I got everything down. But then soon Meredith saying, all we need to do is basically subdue him with that of with full-on magic attacks. So senjutsu and physical attacks won't be doing much. But then, hearing this, Tortalia jumping from tree to tree, as he also hasn't gotten used to using his devil wings yet, saying, that's good to know now. So, once we beat the living shit out of him, Izuku, you can basically convince him to join the peerage afterwards. Within saying, that's not what I wanted to do, Tortalia. I want to convince him properly and honorably as well. That's what I want. Within soon, multiple barriers begin to appear as then Izuku stopping in the air, seeing that a gentle criminal bouncing from one rubber barrier to another and another and another and another over and over again as he's ricocheting quite fast and quickly. Within soon, seeing this, Merit is saying, okay, this is out of the blue. I've never seen him do anything like this before. Within Tortalia saying, same. As then, trying to shoot at that of Gentle with that of another shot. As then, soon, Gentle dodges the shot again and again and again, saying, damn it! Just hold still! Within, creating that of his water dagger and is about to slash at him before then being kicked by Gentle, as he soon get knocked out of the tree, before then using his devil wings to catch his fall, before then saying, okay, I guess I underestimated him. Within soon, Gentle saying, this is the true extent of my sacred gear, the power of the supernatural, the power given to me by God himself. This is what I'm capable of. I normally prefer to basically not go into confrontations. I prefer to basically move quickly and swiftly instead of fighting entirely. But when it comes to you devils, I always have to go all out. I'll take you down and complete my task of stealing from the god of storms, Susanoo. Within soon hearing that, Izuku began to channel full cow once more, before then a burst of lightning magic coating around that of his left hand, and a burst of fire magic coating around that of his right hand, before then clapping them together, as then soon a burst of electrical flames began to wrap around the entire area. Within, Gentle using that of a barrier to basically defend himself, while also still using that of a rubber air platform on the barrier on the air to steady himself. However, as soon as they both collide, it basically hits both Gentle and destroying the barrier entirely. Within soon, Izuku saying, you plan on stealing from the god of storms? It's true that he may have calmed down more and more lately, and that he's no longer the rage and fueled monster, the rage and fueled god that he used to be, of storms that he used to be. But now, you really want to steal from him? Within soon, Gentle falling to the ground full force, as it almost looked like that he broke his shoulder. Within, Labrava seeing the saying, Gentle! Within soon, Izuku saying, have you lost your mind to try and steal from one of the big three of the Shinto? Are you insane? Within saying, what would a devil like you know? Within holding on to that of his broken shoulder, saying, I have to do this. I have to prove that I am capable, that I am strong, that I don't need to be looked down upon by creatures like you, that us humans can basically stand on our own from that of the supernatural, that we have nothing to fear from people, from the likes of you. Within soon, Izuku saying, please, I don't want to fight. I just want to talk. That's all I've been wanting this entire time. Within soon, Labrava saying, like hell you do. That's what you devils always say. You say you want to talk. You say you want just a calm and rational conversation. But it always leads to you basically wanting something from us. I bet you're only here to basically take us to your peerage and all that. Within saying, you're not wrong. That is true. Within soon being honest, basically catches both of them off guard, saying, I do want to be part of your peerage, but I also want to stop you, because what you're doing is just basically putting more and more of a target on your head. What would happen if your family is basically would be sad knowing that both of you are gone? Within hearing that, both of them couldn't help but look down like in that of shame, regret, and pain. But then soon, Izuku realized, I think I just struck a nerve. With Izuku feeling somewhat, saddened about what he just said. Before then, soon, Gentle speaks up once more, saying, like a devil like you could understand the pain I've gone through. The pain that me and La Brava have gone through because of the supernatural. We have done so much to basically avoid all of this. We've tried to avoid the supernatural, but we always get dragged in. No matter what we do. No matter how much we try to run. So instead of running, we basically embrace it. We face it. We go head on. We show that the supernatural is not invincible or impregnable or untouchable as they think they are. That's why I, Denjiro Tobita, the gentlemanly thief, the phantom thief, gentle criminal, will show you that I am more than what I'm capable of. Then soon, La Brava, seeing the greatness, the coolness, and the determination from that of Gentle, without realizing it, she begins to activate her own ability, or rather, her own sacred gear. Within both Meredith, alongside that of Kuroka, and even Izuku, noticing the activation of her sacred gear, within Izuku's eyes widening, saying, "Wait, that's sacred gear. It can't be!" Within, La Brava saying, I'm always here for you, Gentle. I'll always be by your side, even while the world is against you too. Because I will always love you. Within, after saying those words, a burst of pink aura begins to coat around Gentle Criminal, to the point that the aura begins to make his hair spiked up. Within, soon seeing this, as then, and that of a burst of speed, even creating that of a crater into the ground, as it sent flying towards Izuku. Within Izuku, holding back that of Gentle Criminal strength with his own devil strength and his enhanced magic, alongside that of his Tuki as well. But then, trying to hold back that of Gentle, saying he's stronger than before. He's not using magic. More like he's been empowered. Within, soon, Gentle begins to use that of rubber barrier, basically multiple barriers coated around that of his right hand, and slamming it towards Izuku's face, sending him flying. As with then Izuku catching himself too, realizing that he used multiple barriers to add that of extra punch, and he didn't do that before. And it also even hurt too. He hurt more than before as well. He's gotten stronger because of that aura. Within, soon, Meredith sending that of a barrage of wind, fire, and water magic towards that of Gentle, hoping to bust through that of his barriers. However, without realizing it, he begins to use that of his springy barriers once again, while his speed has been increased so fast to the point that Meredith couldn't even react that quickly, saying, "What the hell? He's moving way much more differently. It's almost like he has that of a twice critical, or maybe in the boosted gear." With then soon she getting kicked in the face by that of Gentle. Within, as she was also sent flying. Within, Kuroka, alongside that of Tortalia, stepping in, as they were able to keep up with that of Gentle Criminal and that of his enhanced speed and strength as well. With Tortalia using that of his double-bladed water dagger saber, with it doing that of multiple slashes and even keeping Gentle on his toes. Within, soon, began to coat that of lightning around that of his body as well. Within, soon, Kuroka also enhancing that of her speed and strength using that of Senjutsu as well. As just like before, you could see that of flaming Senjutsu tails coming from her backside. With that, trying to deal that of multiple punches and kicks towards Gentle. Within, Gentle using that of his sacred gear's barriers once more to defend himself and attack back as well. Within, soon, Izuku seeing this, couldn't help but say, "He's really strong. And I mean really strong. He wasn't even on this level before. Even with that, it's Labrava's sacred gear. I've never heard of a sacred gear like that before. A sacred gear that's able to amplify and increase a person's power and strength. Even a common variety, I think there's only one sacred gear that can do that. But it's just a common variety sacred gear that just enhances a person, that only enhances one aspect of a person's strength or a person's speed or their durability. But other than that, they've never been able to do all three. Even when it hits that of a balance breaker, it still can only do that of one aspect, increasing it 10 times than before. But even so, within soon, eyes whining in shock saying, by Lucifer, no way. She must have one of the new sacred gears. The one from that of common variety sacred gears that evolve. This is insane. I didn't think that Labrava would even have a sacred gear, or even she did. I would figure she has that of basic magic. I never thought that this would ever happen. But then soon, Izuku's still seeing what's going on, as then seeing that of Tortalia struggling to basically knock back that of Gentle Criminal, with even Kuroka bringing out that of her own special weapon, as it looks like that of a scythe made out of, as the blade looks like that of the tip of a heart. A special made weapon that Izuku gave to that of, Kuroka, to enhance that of her senjutsu power, and alongside that of her magic as well for more distant long-range attacks. As she was about to slam it down to Gentle, within soon another barrier protects Gentle once more, knocking her back even more than before, and it was powered up now. Within soon, Tortalia can up and say, "You're really starting to piss me off." With then soon Izuku saying, "That's beside the point. I need to stop this now. I need to stop holding back." Within soon, channeling Full Cow once again, saying, "Let's do this. Power of manifests. Full Cow. 10%!" Within soon, the light that of the combined elemental magic aura begins to even go even crazier than before. As then Izuku flies towards Gentle once more. As then he kicks that of Gentle in the face, knocking him back at full speed. Within, Gentle skidding on the ground. Within soon, Izuku, not even giving him a chance to recover, punches him. Within, Gentle knocks down to the ground as he soon jumps up, tries to attack Izuku once more. Within soon, Izuku basically counters with that of another kick. Within that of as a barrier basically in between them. However, Izuku's kick was basically channeled that of water magic, basically breaking through that of the rubber barrier once more. Before then spinning in the air, doing that of another powerful axe kick onto that of Gentle Criminal's chest. Within soon, Gentle begins to spit out a little bit of blood and saliva. Within, Labrava saying, "Gentle, no!" Within soon, Gentle knocked down to the ground, realizing even with that of Labrava's power of her secret gear enhancing me, this devil boy is no longer holding back. He's basically pushing through that of my defenses, my strength, and my speed. Even breaking through that of my barriers without even breaking a sweat now. He's truly something else. Within soon, Izuku about to crash down onto that of Gentle. Within, Labrava screaming, saying, "No, please, don't hurt my Gentle. Please don't take him away from me. He's all I have left in this world." As Izuku was about to land that final blow, however, he stopped midway. Within soon, seeing that of the aura disappearing as well. Within, still floating in the air before landing right beside him. As then soon, Izuku couldn't help but sigh before offering that of his left hand towards that of Gentle. Within seeing this, saying, "Now that we have no longer beating the shit out of each other. Can we talk now? With then soon seeing the gesture as Gentle also getting up as well. With that, Gentle could actually still feel the pain basically coursing around him, especially now that La Brava's, sacred gear effect is now wearing off. With then soon La Brava saying, Gentle! Saying, calm down, La Brava. I think our devil friend here really did meant what he said. He really did just want to talk. With then soon, Izuku couldn't help but smile through his rebreather before removing it and even his hood. Before then saying, sorry about all this. With then saying, you're basically a child. Saying, I should have realized that. With then saying, I'm only 14, actually. In Gentle, I did say I want you to join my peerage. And if if you're willing, La Brava, there's a room for you guys too. But before that, I want to know your stories. I want to know the reason on why you guys despise the supernatural so much. And honestly, I can understand the reason why, but I would like to hear them from you. With then soon hearing that an actual devil is actually giving them a chance to speak about their struggles, their pains. With then soon, both Denjiro and Manami begin to speak about their past. For Denjiro, he was originally just a normal kid back in the day, a kid that wanted to be remembered by the world. He originally wanted to open up his own cafe that basically served that of coffee and tea, with its main product mainly being tea, with even that of sweets to go with them too. But there was quite a bit of problems. He wasn't really that smart, and he didn't have a lot of charisma, to be honest. But he did have a huge amount of positivity, and he always worked hard to try to achieve his dream of owning his own business. However, that all changed during that of his last year at high school. He found that a stray devil was basically eating an innocent person and was about to kill that of Denjiro. However, at that very moment, in that moment of stress, he awakened his sacred gear, bound regalia, the sacred gear that allowed him to create that of barriers. However, since his sacred gear was a subspecies that basically made the barriers instead of solid but rubber, it caused that of the stray devil to be sent flying and badly damaged, causing it to retreat. However, the ruckus basically was too loud and caused a lot of people to head to the location. Denjiro wanted to know if the person that was being eaten by that stray devil was alive. However, at the same time, people noticed him and believed that he was the one that killed the person that the stray devil killed. Because of this, he went on the run. His family disowned him. Any of his friends basically hated him for what he's done. And because of this, it basically led to him becoming that of a wanted man in Japan, and caused him to leave the country in secret. Because of that, he became a man that roamed the world, basically aimless, directionless, had nowhere to go, until, once again, devils came after him. However, instead of it being a stray devil, it actually being a noble devil, especially from that of a branch family of the 72 pillars, that wanted his sacred gear, that wanted his power. Denjiro didn't want anything to do with the supernatural. It's because of the supernatural that his life began to turn into hell. It's because of the supernatural that his life has basically become what it is now. Because of this, he fought against that of the devil that tried to recruit him, even to the point that he ended up killing one of his peerage members, causing the devil to run away. Because of this, Denjiro was dead, and now Gentle Criminal was born. But he wasn't. Even though he was able to kill one of the reincarnated devils, he didn't come out of it unscathed. Pretty beaten, battered, and bruised, almost to the point of near death. But once again, he was saved, surprisingly, by a young man in a school uniform. He looked Chinese as well, but he didn't get the kid's name. All he did say that he would ask for a favor in the near future when it came time. Unfortunately, that favor never came. However, the young man basically gave him that of an idea of that he wanted to make a world free from the supernatural, a way for the humanity can rise up against the supernatural at no matter what. Because of this young man, Jiro found a new resolve. Even though he didn't find a true path, and all he was doing was just doing something to keep him going, to basically stick it to the supernatural, to basically prove that humanity is not their playthings or their toys to be victims of. He became Gentle Criminal, and began to also show the proof of the supernatural as well. In a way, he began to upload his videos to that of the internet, hoping that one day somebody would understand the truth of the supernatural. But unfortunately, that was easier said than done. And however, that all changed when Manami Eba, aka La Brava, came into his life. Speaking of La Brava, unlike that of Gentle's, which was more, tragic and sad, La Brava's was kind of just sad, to be honest. As a young girl, she was always small, short, and nobody gave her a second thought. Even in middle school, when she wanted to basically branch out of her shell and basically speak to more people and talk to them, she wanted to open up her heart to her crush. However, when she basically spoke everything that she loved about the guy, the guy otherwise saw her as a creep, a freak of nature at that. Manami has always had that of a strong love for those that she cares about. However, to other people, that strong love is seen as creepy. Since then, she dropped out of junior high school, and however, she did get her diploma for junior high and graduated even that of high school online. Since then, she became that of a hikikomori, constant shut-in, always on her computer, always on her TV, but she was basically just going through the motions, saying if this is what love basically got her, basically a broken heart and constantly looked down upon, then why love again? Not even her own parents basically want anything to do with her. If she was going to spend her whole life in that of on that of her computer, in front of a screen, then they want nothing to do with her as well. They basically just gave her her own apartment, her own bank account, and then after that, never speak with her ever again. Basically, wash their hands with her as always. To survive and never leave her house, she became that of a hacker, to begin hacking into that of people's accounts, then hacking into that of bank accounts, then that of the bank itself, and even going to that of government records too, which is surprisingly, she just became quite talented in doing so. That's just how it's always been. Hell, the craziest thing is she was even able to hack into the devil net, and without realizing she was able to do so through that of her sacred gear, which ends up being that of a new sacred gear called Maiden's Tears. One of the new sacred gears evolved from a common variety sacred gear. The common variety sacred gear where it evolved from was known as Stat Enhancer, which turned that of the former sacred gear that only focused on one stat alone over time can focus on all the stats. However, the only activation for it was only for Manami to have that of true feelings for that person. She couldn't just do it for anybody or any person. She had to have genuinely love for that person, even if it being platonic love or true romantic love. It had to be love in any form of way. However, given her life, doubtful that she would ever find love again, until she did. That being from Gentle Criminal, the person that gave her hope, however, his charisma ended up saving her from herself. And since then, the two have been inseparable. When she was able to find him through one of his safe houses and accounts and one of his shell accounts. Because of this, the two were basically inseparable and became partners in crime, where Labrava genuinely and truly was in love with Gentle Criminal, seeing him as her one and only, and Gentle Criminal seeing her as his true and devoted partner, the one person that will always believe in him and his goals, to wanting to give humanity a chance to fight back against the supernatural by hope. And that's the end of their origins. Within, everybody hearing this is then Tortalia saying, man, that's sad to think that devils are the ones that ruined your life. It's almost like this is why I was so adamant on being a devil hunter for the Tui, before realizing that not all devils were the same. But then Meredith saying, yeah, I can understand the reason why you became what you are, Gentle. But Labrava, honestly, I think that what you went through was basically you care too much about those around you. And when you go all out, it just comes off as a creepy. Within, Manami looking down, as then Izuku couldn't help but elbow that of Meredith, then saying, ow, sorry, master. Within, Izuku taking a sigh before Kuroka saying, what are you gonna do, Master Izuku? Saying, I'm still gonna ask what I came here to do. Within, walking up to the two before saying, Gentle Criminal, no, Denjiro Tobita, and Manami Aba. I am Izuku Gremory, a second son of the Gremory family. I can understand your pain and misery that you've gone through. And honestly, you have all right to basically hate devils, especially you, Denjiro. However, I want to be somebody that changes the ideas on how people see devils. I want to change on how people basically believe devils truly are. Devils are not truly wicked and evil as people say they are, or what they believe they are. There are many devils who are kind, caring, and loving, and truly care about and want to see the world a better place, such as myself and a few other people too. But to make that dream a reality, I need those who understand that pain, who understand the suffering that humans go through that of devils and the supernatural as a whole. You guys are prime candidates for that. I mainly wanted you, Denjiro, but if Labrava's here, and if she's willing, then you both have a spot in my peerage. With then hearing this, Denjiro saying, normally, many devils try to force me into their peerages, no matter what. But even so, I always thought that they were only in it for their own self-interest. You, on the other hand, you're thinking about others. You're thinking about your species, and you're thinking about about the world as well. You're quite something, young man. To be honest, it reminds me of a superhero comic that I read during my younger days. Manga and anime were cool and all, but when it came to heroes, I always felt a kinship towards them. How they always swooped in to come and save the day and protect the innocent. If I didn't want to become that of a cafe business owner, I always dreamt of wanting to be a hero back in my younger days. Within, Izuku could help but smirk, saying, and that's exactly what I want to be as well. I want to be a hero, not just to my race, but to the world as well. That's my dream of wanting to protect others in need. With then hearing this, Denjiro couldn't help but smirk before standing up saying, if that's the case, within offering that of his left hand before saying, I accept your proposition, Izuku Gremory. I will join your peerage. Within, Manami saying, but Gentle, are you sure? These are still devils, and this young man may be a devil, but he's not evil. He's not selfish, and he's not entitled, I can tell. He's the kind of the supernatural that I have been looking for. The kind that genuinely empathize with those around him. He's somebody I am willing to work with. If you are not, then I can saying, I'm not abandoning you, Gentle. Like I said, I've always stayed by your side. And if you're going to join this kid's peerage, then I will too. Within soon, looking at that of Izuku, narrowing her eyes, saying, I'll be watching you, Izuku Midoriya. And I know on how certain devils like to make girls in their peerages part of their harems and all that. So you better prepare yourself. As Manami having that of a serious and somewhat, glaring look to her, with even that of Izuku couldn't help but feel a little bit nervous, saying, don't worry, I am nothing like that. I would never force anybody in my peerage to be part of my harem. Honestly, I don't even think that there's anybody that even likes me like that. With then soon hearing that, both Kuroka and Meredith couldn't help but feel somewhat, insulted. Mainly insulted at the fact that Izuku doesn't think that anybody likes him in a romantic way. With then soon Manami saying, alright, but like I said, I'm keeping my eyes on you. With that, Izuku could help but sigh and out of relief, but then saying, so, about you being a thief, saying, I'll still try and be a thief, but I won't be a thief stealing from the supernatural. I will be a thief stealing people's hearts, as Gentle says this, pointing up to the stars. Within, Izuku, alongside the others, couldn't help but say, what? Within, Gentle saying, you see, stealing their hearts, stealing their minds, their souls, their ideals. If you plan on changing people's ideas and how they see devils, I will steal their hearts for you, steal their ideas and change them as well, alongside you. So, how does that sound? With then, soon, Izuku couldn't help but say, you're a weird one, Denjiro, but you're cool, pretty cool as well. I think I knew you and I would truly get along. Welcome to the peerage, Denjiro. Within soon, Denjiro and Izuku shaking hands once again, saying, I'm glad. Within soon, offering a hand to that of Manami, saying, welcome to the peerage as well, Miss Manami, saying, yes, of course. As she also shakes Izuku's hand. Within soon, Izuku saying, before I basically make you to my peerage members, we should probably get you well patched up, Denjiro, saying, smart, even though my arm isn't as broken as it was before, it still kind of hurts to move it around, saying, yeah, come on. I think there's a perfect place on where we can get you patched up. It's in devil territory, but there's no king right now, so it should be fine. Come on. With that, everyone in the forest begins to head off. Within soon, as Labrava and Gentle basically walk side each other. Within, Manami saying, so, Denjiro, are we sure about this? Saying, yes, I am. I truly am. I truly wish to see how far a young man like him could go. If he believes he can change the opinions of humanity and many other supernatural races on the devils, and truly wants to become a hero to them as well, then I'm looking forward to what he's capable of. And besides, with you by my side, I think the young man's dreams could come a lot more faster than before. But then, hearing the compliment from that of her one true love, saying, aw, thank you, Gentle. If it means making sure that your dream comes true, then I'll help him make his dream come even faster than before to make sure that your dream is achieved even better. But he better watch out. If he hurts you or betrays us in any way, I don't care if I go stray. He's going to regret it. Within, having that of the short young woman close to his side, within saying, I'm always glad that you are by my side, even in this crazy time. Within, Monami basically leaning her head closer to that of Denjiro as well, as even though they may become devils, their feelings for one another and their goals for one another will never change. And that's it. And yeah, damn, this was a long ass chapter. Sorry it took so long. I had to basically go through that of the fight scene with ads of Gentle Criminal and La Brava. And if you guys are wondering why Gentle Criminal was so much harder for the others to take on, they mainly, underestimated him because they never actually seen him fight. And yeah, he's not that good at it, but he makes up with it with that of his subspecies Sacred Gear, which is basically a replica of his quirk after all. So yeah, as for his backstory, and alongside that of La Brava's, it's still basically the same, but with a bit of changes here and there, to be honest. And both Gentle Criminal and La Brava are the first official MHA characters that are a part of Izuku's peerage. As for that of Curious, from that of the Meta Liberation Army, she's not a villain or an antagonist, she's more of a neutral character. And yeah, she does have a thing for Izuku as well. She finds him being interesting out of a lot of devils, that he doesn't act quite devilish, to be honest. Which, basically, her code namesake, makes her curious and intrigues her quite a bit. So being his personal info broker on gathering that of his peerage members, and also that of, other information on ingredients for the devil sleeping disease, makes her an important aspect to that of Izuku's growth. And you guys remember, yes, she's also one of the people that's in Izuku's harem as well in this story. So remember that. Anyway, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification key to date my videos on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, main channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All in the description below if I'm not too lazy to do so. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later guys, and hope you all take care.